We're at Silverstone, the home of British motor racing, tackling buildings on the circuit. Some wild physics and, of course, poor flying. And trying to drive the circuit and getting stuck under the Hangar Straight bridge. G'day everyone, Z21 here, you can call me Z. Today we're in the English countryside, taking off from Turweston Aerodrome, very close to the Silverstone circuit, just a few kilometers away. Today I am flying in the North American Aviation T-6 Texan, just to highlight the history of the Silverstone circuit, which we'll talk about soon. It's the first time to fly this plane, and of course still learning. You can definitely feel the difference when flying each of the planes, and it will take quite a while to learn the intricacies of each of the aircraft. So here we are, taking off from this narrow runway and just trying to get it into the air. Okay, not too bad. Still needing to learn the controls, using the PlayStation controller and playing on the PlayStation 5 Pro. Of course, this is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. It's the first time to see what England looks like from the sky. Beautiful scenery, and this is definitely countryside. It's summer in England, and I guess a lot of the farms have just planted their crops, and maybe that's why the look is very dry still. But just turning here from the airport, directly ahead is Silverstone. Very easy and short flight. Again, I'm using live weather and time. This is morning in England. You can see the co-pilot is in the plane this time. Not much help, actually. I have all the assists off as much as I could find, and just trying to enjoy the flight as well. So there it is, Silverstone. Definitely doesn't have the graphical fidelity of last week's race at the Red Bull Ring, but still the circuit is there. Silverstone was a Royal Air Force station back in World War II, and flying a bit of an aircraft from a similar time as that, the 1940s. And the circuit has undertaken quite a few changes as it has evolved. But it's another racetrack that I've enjoyed driving quite a bit on games before. Really cool layout and such an iconic track on the F1 calendar. So we're just doing our usual high altitude flyover before we head down and try to follow the circuit around. Definitely, I just enjoy seeing the world during these videos. You can feel like you know the location, and just really great experience actually. So here we go, down the Hamilton Straight from the start finish line, quickly into Abbey, and then farm, and then village, and then the tight corner there, the loop. Following around there, Aintree, down the Wellington Straight, into Brooklands, Luffield and Woodcote. Another iconic part of the track. And then straight down, flying down. I believe that's the old start finish line into Corpse and building on the track. Unbelievable. A bit distracted, so let's have another look. What the? Anyway, turning right at Corpse and then into the fast S's, Maggotts and Becketts. And then Chapel onto the Hangar Straight. Amazing part of the circuit. And into the final sector there we have Stowe. Vale. And then back around to the start finish line. Such a fun track. Really like the circuits that have well-known names for each of the corners. And that's it, a very quick overview of the Silverstone circuit before turning back towards the airfield where we took off. Still getting those prompts for incorrect fuel mixture. I'll have to learn how to adapt on the fly and make sure I can change easily. Interesting to see the distance, just the beautiful England surroundings. So a lot of the F1 teams are located nearby the circuit. I know just near the Hamilton Straight is Aston Martin and the new Cadillac team, and then not far away in Milton Keynes, some of the other Formula One teams. And then just ahead you can see the runway. Really cool to see the landing gear as I click the control and trying to slow the aircraft down so I can land properly. I noticed though that I was unable to control the speed or lower the speed on the aircraft. Made it quite difficult to slow down as I approached. As you've seen if you've watched any of my previous videos, find it very difficult to land and end up just hopping down the runway. Still quite difficult to use the controller, I found so far. Just for those delicate movements, trying to keep the nose up. Just here, not being able to slow the aircraft down and carrying probably still a bit too much speed, I guess. Trying to keep the nose up. Hard to get a feeling from obviously probably this outside view of where we are. Dropped it down, but just another bounce. I've already reached near the end of the runway, so it's going to be very tight here. It's a simulator, but probably not so realistic from what would actually happen in this scenario. But just braking right at the end there. And then rather than trying to find where to go back to the gate, I may as well just park with the cars here. That was quite a fun and quick look at Silverstone ahead of the race this weekend. If you've made it this far, thanks for watching. You're always welcome to leave a comment, ask a question, and I'm continuing to learn how to make these videos and fly, but I really appreciate you hanging out, and I hope to see you in the next video.